Hello, everybody, and welcome to the O.V.G.C podcast, episode 27. I am your host, like usual, Soul Zane, and with me, also as usual, so far,
My name is Jeff.
it's Jeff. Welcome, Jeff. Are you ready to rock, Jeff? To rock and roll, Jeff?
I'm ready to rock.
No, we're currently jamming to some city pop, so definitely not metal enough.
I was gonna say that's not a Brutal Legend
for
soundtrack for
today's
sure.
game, but yes, Brutal Legend was
My
our
Jeff.
bi-monthly game, and we got Batman for the NES for our monthly game, which I'm excited to discuss with you. And we're gonna kick it off first by talking a little bit about Brutal Legend. Then so quite a few of us actually played through it all the way, which was pretty cool to see. I was actually kind of surprised everybody kind of went. We had such a large amount of people actually play through it. So just because it's just kind of one of those games that just kind of seems like something you probably would never pick up. It's a random Tim Schafer game from Double Fine that he just kind of threw out there with Jack Black as the main character. It's about a guy named Eddie who gets isekai'd to a world of rock and roll. Even though it's not really a world, they always reference it as the past, which makes no sense to me because they don't give you any like real world building before then. And he's always just like, what is this place? And I'm just like, how can it be a different place and the past at the same time? Can you just pick one? Does it have to be both? I mean, it can be both, I guess. I guess that was a stupid question. Star Wars is set in the past. But yeah, so he goes to this world of rock and roll where this evil group
Kind of like
of
a Middle Earth
people,
looking map.
yeah, are very much trying to like essentially get rid of rock and roll, kind of. Not really. It's hard to understand what's really happening, but they're kind of taking over the world, and rock and roll is kind of becoming the downside of like it's just kind of declining, right? And Eddie is like somehow this chosen one who picks up this magic axe, which is also a guitar, or vice versa. No, it's he gets an axe and he has his guitar with him already. So, and his magic guitar strings and stuff. Yeah, coming from hell, basically. But he's the chosen one. He shows up, does all this like stuff with this group of rebels to try and save the world. I really don't remember the full story because it was very uninteresting to me.
That good, huh?
That good. And he kind of finds himself mixed up with these guys, and then he kind of like is somewhat leading them along with their leader. Somewhere along the way, the leader gets killed, and he becomes de facto leader. But he also is doing it with like a couple other ladies. One of them turns out to be a traitor, and he's in love with the traitor, and then he wants to get together with her still and stuff. But it's weird how it kind of works out. But eventually you find out that there's like this evil overlord dude who's like super sick looking. Like he has no eyes. He's got like a straight helmet face and like all these messed up teeth and like 4 horns coming out of his head, and he's really cool looking dude. But I'm like, that if that's not also metal, I'm not sure what's really going on. Like, what are we saving? Are we saving metal, or are we or are we just saving
is metal going away, or is metal taking over?
or are we just saving this world? The plot sounds like something the writer came up with while he was high. Very much so. I think also while he was just listening to metal, and he was just like, wouldn't it be cool? Or looking at album covers that were all totally wild, and he was just like, wouldn't it be cool if this place was real? And so they made this big open world map with all these like really awesome looking monsters and kind of like neat metal tropes. Like there's so many tropes for like heavy metal and such.
Guys like Monster Hunter and
A little bit, yeah. So what you see going on in the video, if we just want to talk about gameplay a little bit, because I feel like there isn't really a ton I can really talk about with the story. I will mention before I move away too much, there's a whole bunch of metal like artist cameos in the game, like Ozzy Osbourne's in it.
Okay.
He's the god of metal, and you have to talk.
Of course.
Oh yeah, the main bad guy is voiced by Tim Curry. There's a lot of popular people in this game, aside from
Man.
Jack Black, outright, and there are other regular voice actors, so it's not all just like voiced by a whole bunch of like popular people. Like there's real voice actors and stuff in it too.
Okay.
Anyways, we're going to talk about gameplay a little bit. So, you have two modes of gameplay. There's the hack and slash stuff that you have with your basic axe. And then there's the RTS segments. The majority of the game is built around the storyline of the game is built around the RTS segments, and you can do the hack and slash stuff like on the side. But when you're in an RTS segment, you cannot do the hack and slash stuff. Like it doesn't really help. You can do it, but it literally is a waste of your time. Don't do it. Just micromanage your units. You get all these different types of units that you can upgrade and play with. And I didn't know that I could upgrade my units until the end of the game, which I'm like, I either missed a tutorial or it never explained it to me. Because there's like 2 or 3 different units based on who you are. That can upgrade. There's also multiplayer RTS stuff that you can do that all the units like and the big guys like can go against you and whatever. Like you can play against another person who's also playing like one of the villains that you fight against in the RTS segments. So stuff like that you can do. It's not really fun to manage because instead of being in a top-down view with a reticle, you are really up close, and the reticle is Eddie, and then you have to like give orders as Eddie to like different stuff, and it can be kind of a hassle to get used to. It is a bit of a learning curve, but it's not horrible. Once I got used to it, it wasn't too bad, but I don't think I could see myself beating this game on a harder difficulty than what I did play through it on.
Okay.
It just doesn't seem that enjoyable to me. Because you can sometimes the AI is like really ruthless, and if you don't take time to like make your units stronger, build everything up, and then go out and fight, then it's just an instantaneous losing battle every time.
I see.
The outer world segments where you do all the hack and slash stuff feels really good, and we did play through Psychonauts last year, I believe, and it feels as good as Psychonauts when it came to playing like the hack and slash stuff. I really enjoyed that. My my initial thought was like, I wish this game was always the hack and slash stuff, because it starts out teaching you how to play it with the hack and slash stuff and driving around, and then it turns into this RTS just randomly, and it just kind of feels like a side thing that it was supposed to be before, but it really shouldn't be. It was very much, as Season says, a bait and switch. Now, and which kind of stinks, because like the main story is all RTS stuff, but all the exploration, the driving around is all hack and slash stuff. And so, and then there's little games like what this guy's doing. You can see there's little like side quests where you can shoot as the car on this rack thing to shoot bad guys that come at you, and then there's racing ones, which you just saw. There's a whole bunch of collectibles and all these other things to do, but I don't really want to talk about the collectibles. They're just nonsense stuff to populate the world, which is a very early thing of big open world games where they had no idea what to do with these open worlds. They like made them massive, and then you had no idea what to put in them. So it's whatever. It's a pass or a go. My biggest drawback with the open world segments is there's no fast travel in the game at all. And so it's all at all. So it's all driving the whole way. And the map is huge. If you go from one side to the other, you got to be dedicated, which thankfully going from one side to the other is awesome, because you get to listen to metal the whole time. Like Motley Crue, and they had Ozzy Osbourne. They had all sorts of stuff. Okay, there was a brief hiccup right there, and I had to fix something on my computer, but we're back. Well, I don't remember what we were talking about. at that point. I was kind of I was pretty much almost kind of done with everything. I have a few like little like nitpicks I can make about it if I wanted. But overall, it's a really good. It's a good game. Like it's not horrible, and I wouldn't like tell people to avoid it or anything like that. There are a few things like I said, I nitpick with like certain driving things are kind of annoying, and some of the dialogue stuff that I had just mentioned. You know, the weirdest thing though is in the game that's about metal and music in general. Unless you're in the car, the rest of the game is almost completely silent.
Oh wow.
There's no background soundtrack to almost anything while you're doing other stuff. There is in some story based stuff, like when some tension's going on or whatever it is, but like there's just no music at
Oh.
all.
Even during what about the RTS segments?
I believe there is some RTS. There is some music in the RTS stuff, but it's not
Okay.
any. It's not any metal like or requested
It's
song.
not the
It's
licensed
just
music.
yeah. It's not any of
Okay.
the licensed music, and it should be. Honestly, it would be really cool if they did do that. But like, you could
Yeah.
do this little quest that he's about to run up and do, and the whole time it would just be silent, and the only thing you'd hear is the combat. That's all. So, it's kind of strange. But yeah. So I mean, it's there. It is. That's Brutal Legend. I guess that's kind of all I really have to say about it.
Cool.
You know, I will say last thing. I'm checking my notes really quick. The story between Eddie and Ophelia, the villainess of it, feels really forced, like really forced. And I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. They don't do a whole bunch of like dumb girl tropes or anything like that. Like she's a good character. So I wouldn't say it's a total downside. It's just like if you're looking for like a good story out of this, it's not here. So but yeah, so a game that had like too much happening all at once, it turned out to be too mediocre for what you got. They should have just made Psychonauts 2 at this time. So
Yep.
so
Sounds like the music choices, the vibes, like the feel of the game was kind of cool, but maybe the execution wasn't all there.
you got it. Yeah, I think.
What did you play it on?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So I played through it all on PS3. Honestly,
okay.
turns out it's the weaker version because it's the only one you can't play any of the DLC with. The PC version has all the DLC for free, and the Xbox version, if you've had the DLC in the past, you can still download and access it. So, but if you have, unless you had or no, I think you can still purchase it on the Xbox, but it's completely off the PlayStation shop. You can't pick it up anymore. So, if you want to play the game completely, you have to get a PC version or find somebody who has the full downloaded version to play all the little extra DLC stuff, which is mostly just RTS stuff and costumes. But either way,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
I guess that's kind of it. So let's move on to something even more fun and amazing. Let's talk about Batman, the video game for the NES.
I get warm fuzzies just seeing it pop up.
Tell me everything you want to say about it, since I did a whole bunch of talking already.
All right, so I kind of posted this in the chat here, but just a backstory, I guess. This is one of the games that I really grew up with. My uncle had this, and we went to his house every single Thanksgiving. So this would always be in the rotation. You know, I think he had Punch Out, he had this game, Tetris, and Tecmo Super Bowl, I think were the big ones. And so out of those ones, this is kind of the single player action game that, you know, I played. And I don't know if I ever got past 2 boss as a kid, maybe once.
Oh.
So I think I was stuck on like level 1 and level 2 maybe. Which as a kid, you know, the soundtrack was great and just being Batman was fun. So I always liked playing it as a kid, but you didn't see game endings a lot in
Yeah,
this era.
that's true.
Um, when I was growing up, like getting the internet and being able to go to gameendings.com or whatever and see all the ending screenshots,
Hmm.
that was a big deal because you had to be good to see the ending screens of these games. Um, and so as a kid, it was kind of like I don't want to say, "Ooh, my childhood dream," but like it was always kind of like a goal to beat this one. Um, because I always enjoyed the sound, the soundtrack. I always enjoyed the gameplay of it. I think it looks really good for an NES game, but I'd never had the skills or the dedication to really keep at it to finish it as a youngster. Um, so revisiting this now, as an adult, um, I think it still holds up. I think it really holds up. Gameplay wise, everything's nice and responsive. There is a little bit of the Castlevania has the wind up on the whip.
Yeah.
Batman's got a little bit of a wind up on the jump here. Um, if you, I mean, you just have to kind of bake that into your gameplay. Like, I got to hit the button a little bit early. Like, you got to plan it. But I don't think there's anything in this game where that really makes a negative effect. Like, I don't think it really kills the experience at all. Like,
Nah.
you just gotta play with that in mind. Um, the wall jumping is obviously the big star of the show here. Um, and I would say I think the wall jumping in this game might be some of the best like 2D platformer wall jumping I've experienced.
Okay. It feels really good. It was one of my favorite things to do as soon as I started. I was like, "Whoa. This is easy to do. It's intuitive and it it, it feels like I'm making distance or like I'm getting through it further every time I complete a successful wall jump."
On how long you hold down that A button to how far you rebound off of the wall.
Yeah. Okay.
They nailed that with this game. If like it's got enough control that it gives you kind of a higher skill ceiling.
Uh-huh.
Um, as I replayed like level 4 and level 5 trying to get to the end here, I was at first, man, some of these wall jumps are pretty tough. The little steel girder beams that come out and what do I do? Do I jump on those and then jump back to the wall? But as your skills progress, you're just hopping off of those tiny little steel girders that are sticking out
Yeah.
to ascend the wall quicker. Um, so I really going back to this really makes me appreciate kind of the old school arcade mindset where the game is just hard enough that you'll get your 10 to 15 to 20 hours out of it, like just like you'd get out of a modern game, but instead of giving you a glowing trail to take you to the end of it,
Mhm.
they expect you to play it like a routine until you get it right.
Right.
Um, and I think that's why arcade games and then on the flip side of that would be like your rhythm games. It's kind of the same thing in a way. Like you're learning a routine in a rhythm game, like the order of notes in Beatmania or Dance Dance Revolution. And as you get better, your skills progress as you just keep playing it. This one you kind of have to keep progressing through the game level by level. But I like that arcade mentality where it's like the fun of the game is getting better at it
Yeah.
and enough to beat it. Like I can beat this game in 30 minutes. It's not a long game, but it takes you 20 hours to see the ending if you got to put the time into it to get good enough to beat it.
Right. Well, the nice thing too is like it's also like when you die, you only go back to the beginning of these levels, and these levels are short. Like they're not
Yeah.
super long. You're not game overing, and you're at that. You have to restart the whole game. The only way you have to do that is if you shut the console off, which is
Yep.
going to happen in this era because there's no save functions a lot of times. But the thing is as you said, you just get better and better at it the more you play it, and that's that's the really fun part about it is you don't even like it's not a slog unless you
No.
purposefully like just be like, oh, this is so annoying, I have to do this or whatever, blah blah blah. Like I have to redo all the stage again. It just there's ways that you could kind of be upset with that, but like you have to like I would say the only people who would be mad about that are people who don't play NES games.
Yeah. And the only stage that I really kept repeating to the point where it was annoying was 5-1.
Oh, okay.
Because if you lose that Joker, oh gosh,
You
I
got to
got
do
to
the
go
whole
back.
stage. That
So
that is kind
that
of
was a
tough.
little bit of a, I don't want to say it was a slog, because by the end of it, guess what? I made a couple runs at that clock tower without taking damage, and that was so satisfying.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like when
absolutely.
you finally get the timing of falling off that ledge, jumping off the back wall,
Uh-huh.
through the gears. Ooh, it's so good when you finally hit it.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And then uh um I mean, like, see how fat, like, smooth this guy is going through everything
Yes,
too?
this
Like, you
guy's this guy's not bad.
you just everything just feels good, you know.
Yes. There I do have some criticisms. Uh, I hate those stupid leaper enemies. I hate their movement. I know they're supposed to be difficult, but the fact that if you kind of get in the right rhythm or the wrong place, I guess the wrong rhythm, they can just keep hopping right on top of you. You can't damage them. You can't run away fast enough. Like there, that guy's behavior kind of sucks. If you're good enough, yes, you can boomerang him. You can hit him with the dirge a couple times, or the dirk, the three-way splitting thing, a couple times when he's off screen. So it's like, yes, there's ways around it, but it feels kind of not skill based, but I know the right thing to do here,
Oh, okay.
like secret skill based instead of like, uh, and I guess that's just part of it is figuring out the little tricks.
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of the enemies, like, you can really take down just by having good skills. But if this guy gets you and kind of gets you in a bad loop,
You're screwed. Yeah,
it sucks.
it doesn't feel good. I have to
Yep.
say that's kind of how I felt about the Joker fight at the end. Was it just didn't feel good to keep dying and dying and dying, and then I can't. I didn't. I played on emulation, so I had a save state added, so I didn't have to keep suffering through 5-1 again, over and over
But you
again.
started at the beginning of the fight each time, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would never do it the other way.
That's
I'd always start in front of it so I could get through it, but I wasn't
okay.
cheesing the fight.
Okay, so you legit beat it then. Good, good,
Yeah,
good, good.
yeah. I just save stated at the beginning and at the end of
That
at the beginning of
that's
stages.
convenient.
I save stated at the beginning of stages, and I ended up having to save state a couple times in between some other ones where I had to fall, where I kept falling in between stuff, and I was just like,
Hmm.
okay. I was like, I've got to get this done. I've got other stuff to do. I can't keep trying to master this because I'm not trying to master it. I just wanted to beat
For
it.
sure.
But yeah,
Yep.
I did legitimately beat it essentially.
Awesome.
But I have to say the one thing about boss fights in games, especially games like this where it's just combat stuff, that bosses can always be uninherently terribly done, like to the point where just like it just doesn't feel like the rest of the game. And that's not really horrible or off-brand in this case because the bosses did kind of feel like just advanced versions of enemies like this. But the thing is these
Hmm.
enemies are annoying. They're cheap and annoying. And the
Uh,
boss you fought before this fight was just like it was just I just button mashed through him. I just bataranged him, and I just took as much I just took damage, and I just bataranged the hell out
yeah.
of him. It was too easy to do it that way. But then this next
And
boss fight after this, where you fight the cubes, then you have to learn how to do it, and what you're trying to do feels really different. And I was like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's so
yeah.
different than what I was already learning how to do. It was similar to the machine fight in Boss 2. And I just didn't understand what I was supposed to do. I did figure that one out after a minute. But like the boss number, what is it, 4 here? Yeah, boss 4 here. I ended up having to
The
go
boxes.
online and watch somebody do it because it made no
Mm.
sense to me. And I did try really hard for a while. I tried as hard as I could for a while to get through it uh, um, without looking something up because I wanted to do it because I wanted to feel like I figured it out. And I did kind of come up with a method for it a little bit and it was working, but it just straight wasn't working the whole after a while and I was just like I am missing something terribly. And
Right.
I ended up like I said I just had to look it up. So which it did give me a kind of a nice hint on what to do, and I was like, all right, I would just get to the point where I needed a hint, and then I'd be like, okay, let me see what I can figure out. Um, I never watched anybody fight Joker, so I did that one all on my own at all.
Okay.
It was just that level 4 boss. The more
That
intuitive
one.
bosses. Oh, hold on a sec. Lance says, ironically, I actually find the Joker to be one of the more intuitive bosses since he has a comically long gun, and the trick is to stay super close to him. Yes,
Mhm.
actually,
Yes.
I'm glad you said that because I agree. I agree. I 100% agree. He's the only boss that actually feels really good to fight against, and then maybe the level 1 boss that's on the jetpacks because he comes down and he shoots
I
stuff. I think he's a good
I
boss
like
too.
him as a level 1 boss, if that makes sense. Like he's supposed to be easy.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Oh, that's how you're supposed to get through this stupid stage
Yeah.
segment. Okay. I did
Yeah.
that
Yep.
too. I did that part too. Then these tanks actually were actually the easiest tanks to take care of.
Because you can actually duck on the like inside edges of these stairways to dodge his shots,
Yep, yep. That actually made it a lot easier. And I just jumped
and
step
you
to
can
step.
despawn. You can despawn the ones in the caves.
I didn't know you could do that. I just saw that he was doing that on while you were talking, and I was like, oh! I could have just
There
done that.
it is.
There it is. Yeah, but these ones I found out I could just punch, and then as soon as you start punching enemies, the enemies have iframes that they can't hurt you at, and so you could just stand inside enemies and beat the heck out of them. One thing this guy doesn't use is the spreader shot, which I used a lot on this segment.
Okay.
um, uh,
I hardly use the dirk. I think that's what they call it at all. I use mostly the battering.
okay.
There's a few sections where there's like the little guys that crawl around the ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a ducking two spear gun shots takes those out pretty good. But it's
Okay.
mostly batterings and fists.
Okay. Um, I didn't really like that. I had multiple weapons. I kind of almost wish it was only the batarangs because the rest of the
Mm,
weapons kind of feel like a pain in the ass to switch to over and over again.
yeah.
And
I think a Genesis 6 button controller would be awesome for this game if they could like do one
yeah,
button per weapon.
that makes sense. I was reading a comment there really quick from Lance. But
Mm.
the overall though, it feels great to play. It's a very fun game. It's actually really cool, and my kids liked watching me play through it. And even after I beat it, they were like, "Can we watch you play Batman?" And I was like, "Hell no, I don't want to play any of that anymore right now." um,
There's I will say you can continue on if you wanted to say anything else
no,
about
I
the
don't really have a ton more to say. The music's good. The sprites look awesome.
yeah.
It's a heckin' really good game, like for the NES. I
Yep.
kind of wish I'd played it when I was a kid.
I was just gonna say, I think this is one of the better aged games on the NES. Some of the NES games you go back to and you're like, this isn't as good as I remember.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Batman has actually aged pretty good. I would give it personally like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah. For
As
an
far
NES
as
game,
games of
yeah,
this out of this era, it's a 9 out of 10.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Excellent. All right. Well, that does it for us for this for these 2 games of the month. I hope everybody really enjoyed them. Let's get on to our. What do we want to start with? Bi-monthly or monthly? Let's do bi-monthly first.
Let's do bi-monthly first.
All right. So games like Mario 3 Castlevania. Yes. One day we'll get back into NES games, but let's start with the
Go on then.
bi-monthly boys. Here we go.
All
Legend of
right.
Zelda: Twilight Princess is one of our suggestions. We've had this one before. It's the last game for the GameCube to be released, so this one counts because its official release is technically the Wii. So it goes to our bi-monthly. Um, I have not played the HD remake for the Wii U yet, but I hear it's good.
Hmm.
And I've only
I haven't played it either.
out of all the Zelda games, Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword are the only ones I've only played through one time, and I've played through all the
Hmm.
rest of them multiple times. So I think it would be really fun for me to go back through this because I've only experienced it the one time. So I would love to go do this one.
Nice.
So yeah, that's Zelda. Next up is Dragon's Dogma. This is a big open world RPG. Um, it it kind of looks to me like Dark Souls a little bit, but
Mm-hmm. Have you played this one?
I have started it once a long time ago, and then I never played it. No, and but
This is
I've
from Capcom.
this is Capcom. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, this looks cool. I really want to check it out. It's been a while, so that's
Yeah.
why I suggested it. It looked like I was like, I know Dragon's Dogma 2 came out that long ago, and people were kind of raving about it a little. And but yeah, you're right, Grendel. It mixed things. People are mixed about it, and the thing is we play all sorts of crazy, weird stuff all the time, and we are not the conventional gamer these days when it comes to Call of Duty and your basic bitch stuff. we like a bit of a challenge, and I like a bit of jank in my game. So I hope that's what Dragon's Dogma gives us without being too much jank. Speaking of something that is jank, let's talk about the House of the Dead Overkill.
This game though.
Goofy, awesome on rails shooter games. I love the House of the Dead series. So this would be cool to check out. This is for the Wii.
Have you ever seen this one or played this one?
No, I haven't. This is my first time seeing it. I know we talked about it before.
Yeah. So the arcade ones were cheesy in like an old school, like the voice acting is terrible way.
Oh yeah.
This is like over the top, like grindhouse film, kind of like lots of profanity in the script. Like it's a wild game.
Okay, cool. I mean, it's well known for being a jank series, but it's also like well known for being a good, fun zombie, unapologetic zombie shooter. You know, so. So yeah, that's cool. Something else that owes us no apology is Transformers Devastation.
Yeah.
You suggested this one. Tell me about it. What is it?
This is on the 360, and I want to say it's on the PlayStation 3 as well.
Okay.
It is a action beat 'em up game made by Platinum, I want to say.
Okay.
So this is a Platinum game. You can transform between your robot mode, and then you can transform into your vehicle mode, which lets you go around the map quicker. But you can also attack as your vehicle.
Okay. Yeah. Vehicle attack.
You can transform and attack as a vehicle, like as part of your combos, just in your robot mode. Like, it's a pretty cool take on the Transformers formula. I don't know if you've played like the Fall of Cybertron games at all, but this is completely different to that.
Okay. I haven't played any.
This is a
game.
Platinum beat 'em up.
It looks cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I love the design of Transformers in general, like their faces and stuff, and everything looks so 1990s. And, yeah, this would be cool. I'd like to check this one out. So.
Yep. And I think this one's pretty well regarded, so I think people would like it.
Speaking of something well regarded, Portal is on the list this month. I don't know what else to say about Portal. I've beaten the hell out of it a lot. You know, there is no cake. The cake is a lie.
Cake is a lie.
It's something else that's not a lie. Is Half-Life 2. I purposely picked out Ravenholm as the video because every time we brought up Half-Life 2, it's I always point out Ravenholm because it's the part that everybody loves the most. Slash is fucking terrified of.
It's the best part of the game.
Yeah, Ravenholm. Yeah, I've always wanted to go through Half-Life 2, so as I've said before, this would be a fun one to do. So, another little fun one is Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii.
Yeah.
I've been playing this with my daughter a little bit on and off, and she just likes to mess because this is a fully co-op game, and you can play with another person who's basically making your life hard if you want to. Very simple, easy Kirby game. I think.
Super charming.
Yes, very charming. It's super cute. I'm curious how it ends. So, and there we have it. That's everything for the bi-monthly segment so far.
Just a fun list.
Yeah, a bunch of good games. Nothing I'd be on. Nothing I'd go. Oh, I don't know if I have time for that. So, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Spin the wheel, spin the wheel, and Pikmin wins.
Oh, hey!
Ah!
Half-Life 2 is so close. So close, Jeff.
Almost had a
Let's go.
Transformers one.
Yeah, all right. Half-Life 2. All right.
Half-Life 2 is good. I'm happy about that.
I can't wait. I can't wait to do this one. That is exciting.
And at this point, Half-Life 2 will run on anything, so.
Yeah, that's true. There's no way you guys don't already have Half-Life 2 in your game library if you have Steam. There's just no way.
It's been $2.99 a million times, guys.
Valve put it there and you didn't even notice.
It's in your library already.
That's right. All right. So let's start then with our next segment here. I'm pretty sure I put all the games in because everybody had multis, like seconds and thirds of stuff. So there isn't a ton of suggestions this time. Or I believe. I'm pretty sure I put everything in there. I'm going to double check here really quick. Brave Fencer, Tomb Raider, F-Zero, Mischief Makers. Did I do? There it is. Okay, yep, no, it's all there. Okay. So last minute entry was Ecco the Dolphin yesterday for the Sega Genesis. I have to say, stupid hard game. Very excellent soundtrack. If I'm gonna play this game, I'm probably 100% gonna use a guide because there's no map and the game is insane to like scoot around. I don't know if I'm gonna play with a guide right away. I definitely may play with a guide as I go on, but if you can beat Ecco the Dolphin without a guide, that is like you're a boss gamer in my opinion. Like you'd be like, yeah, I beat Ecco the Dolphin. I'd be like, no, you didn't. Right. I wouldn't believe you.
Always interested in, this game always interested me, but I've never been. I've always gotten frustrated on like the first or second level.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, it was fun to just jump and stuff, and I was just like, I don't know. And then the machine, it's a total bitch final level. Seasons apparently knows, but I don't believe him because nobody's beaten this game. Next,
GameEndings.com.
Next is Spyro the Dragon. So,
hey,
the HD remake came out. I would recommend just playing the PS1 version. It looks better. It feels better. It's just overall, it's a better game. Just play the PS1 version. It'll make you happy. Seasons, you didn't. It's not on the 360. Ecco the Dolphin isn't on the 360. You can't just say made up things like that. We're recording this. There isn't much to say about Spyro the Dragon. You can 120% this game.
Okay.
F-Zero GX. This was our backlog pick. So even though we do not have GameCube games as our suggestions, the backlog can just do whatever it wants. So F-Zero GX on the list. Hey, and if it gets picked, it saved you guys another chance to use Nintendo 64 as a game option down the line. Because y'all are
this
cowards.
One's hard as balls.
Is it? Is it super hard?
Yep. It's hard as balls, but it's good. I mean, it's a really well-made game.
Yeah, very cool. Another well-made game is Mischief Makers for the N64.
More treasure.
Yes, treasure. Look at that guy. Is she blocking it? Is that like a...
Yes, you can use like the grab move to do a block, it looks like.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I've ever gotten this far.
This is the beginning of the game almost.
Shake, shake.
Shake, shake.
Yeah, I would like to play this one.
All right. Something I probably don't want to play, though, is Tomb Raider. The only reason...
Is the original one pretty rough?
Yeah, so it's tank controls. They had no other way to, like... But it's tank controls. There's no music soundtrack. It's super quiet. It's hard to maneuver. When you jump, you commit to it. You have to know where you're going and what you're doing. They're tough, but they're, it's still a fun exploration game. You're not like bogged down by a ton of random story. It's a lot of puzzling, like 3D platform puzzling stuff. So I have the whole original collection up there on PlayStation 1. So I don't think the remakes or the HD collections are really do it any justice. So
They're not really the same game.
no, you really should just play the old version. And if you don't like it and you hate it, just
I'd be
you can
curious to
play
see
the
this one.
HD one.
Mm. I mean, like I know, like they've had like a million Tomb Raider games, so I've always been curious, like how is the first one?
They're tough. The
But
second
yeah,
one actually is the one that's people probably know more about because it's the
okay.
one where you start the game inside Laura's mansion and you have his little butler
That
following
one I
you
did
around with a
play.
tray and you can
I
lock him in
remember
the
that.
freezer. that was that
Okay.
was my favorite thing to do in Tomb Raider 2. Never played the game besides doing that, and then because I could never do the how to play trial run thing in the beginning of the game. It just I couldn't figure it out. But also it wasn't mine. I was playing at a friend's house, whatever at the time. So yeah,
Cool.
Tomb Raider.
Raider.
So next is Brave Fencer Musashi.
Hmm.
Oh, I know what game I forgot to put on this list. Metal Gear Solid. I'll type it in a
Oh
second.
yeah.
I was like, I knew I was missing something.
Bum, bum,
Brave Fencer
ba-ba-dum.
Musashi. I have this game. I tried playing it. I had no idea what I was doing. I think I needed the instruction manual because I don't think I have the instruction manual for it. I think I do
Hmm.
now. I believe I found a sealed like a full copy of it, not sealed copy, like a complete copy of it, so I can understand what I'm doing. But when I tried playing it the first time, I was
Okay.
like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'd love to give this one a go. It looks like fun. Brave Fencer Musashi.
Cool.
Metal Gear Solid
Soul Kid.
long play PS1. Bum 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 bottom. Metal Gear. Okay. Metal Gear Solid. We've had this one suggested a couple
Yeah.
times. 100%. The GameCube version is different than the PS1 version.
Mm-hmm.
It's not inherently different, but it's different enough that the experience is not the same. So
So you gotta do the PS1 version.
you got to do the PS1 version. I'm sorry, you got to play the PS1 version. It is available on the
All right.
PS2 as well in a collection of sorts, like
Hmm.
a box collection thing. I believe it's also available in the HD collections and other stuff. So if you wanted to play
Okay.
it that way, you can. They I believe it's the PS1 version because I don't think they had the right to do Twin Snakes because Yoshi and Mario are in it.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, um, PS1 version only, boys.
Cool.
And then
I would like to play it.
the last thing I have is Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel for the Game Boy Color. Uh, I've always wanted to play through this one. I think it's the only Metal Gear Solid game I haven't played besides Metal Gear 2, which isn't a Metal Gear
Okay.
Solid game. But
The MSX version.
yeah. But this looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really want to check it out because I know Hideo like pushes consoles to the limit. So I'd be curious to see how good this turns out. You know, to come out after this PS1 version, or PS1 game. You know, like there's no way he didn't like go ham on this. You know, so. Oh, look
Yep.
at that! He even leaned against the
Oh
wall.
yeah. There's a lot of cool little details in this one.
That's awesome. Oh, he's knocking on the
You do
wall
the
too.
knocking. Yep. And you have like the little item switching kind of similarly. You can hide and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my
It's definitely it's a Metal Gear Solid game through and through.
dude. This looks so sick to play through. All right. We ready? I think that's everything. Echo the
Is
Dolphin.
Metal Gear
Mischief
Solid on
Makers.
here?
Metal Gear Solid right there.
Okay.
Spyro the Dragon. Mischief Makers. Ghost Babel. Musashi F-Zero GX. That is everything. I'm going to double check the
All right.
classic
Spin
monthly
the
game club
wheel.
thing really
Spin the
quick.
wheel.
Blah, 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 blah. Yep. That's everything. Let me get back to the video. Okay. Ready? Here we go.
Here we go.
Dear God.
OG
go.
Tomb Raider.
OG Tomb Raider.
All
It's
right.
Tomb Raider.
It's Tomb Raider.
Uh,
Please clap.
I have not checked out the HD remakes or rebuilds or whatever the hell they are. So if anybody has more
Hmm.
clarification on whether or not those are worth playing over the PS1 original versions or the PC version, just let me know. Either way, this takes the PS1 off our list. I'm so sorry, Metal Gear
Bye,
Solid
PS1.
people. Goodbye,
Yay.
PS1. Um, good times.
And
So
64 still lives.
it does. It does still live. That's true. And the Game Boy, uh, Game Boy, Game Boy Advanced, Game Boy Color are
And it,
like the same.
yep.
Uh, then the GBA and the N64. So we have 3 Nintendo consoles left to choose from. But the PS2 is the only other PlayStation console on the list. And then we still have our Sega game consoles as well. So I'm excited to
Fun.
see what we get left with by October, to see what spooky games you guys are forced to come up with in in a small batch.
We're gonna have to do Sonic Adventure 2 just to do like the Knuckles like pumpkin level again.
We get stuck on that one for the Dreamcast. Well, we got Sonic Adventure for Dreamcast. You know.
That's true.
All right.
Cool.
Well, thanks everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. As always, you can follow us through YouTube and whatever stuff that we're doing. Make sure you post your progress. Challenge stuff I will have to come up with a little bit later. I don't really know everything to do for challenges for Half-Life 2 or Tomb Raider. I think Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider, like Batman, just beat it, so.
Beat it. Get through it.
Because I don't think there's collectibles. I don't think there's any of that stuff in there. And I guess. So I hope everybody's enjoying Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic for our quarterly. If you... Oh, I forgot. We haven't picked our anime yet for this next month. So we'll get in the anime chat and do that. So we have another one going on for next month. Last month was Gnosia, which I really, really liked. If you haven't checked it out, it's really fun.
Nice.
Based on a video game, so that helps. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Peace.
Bye.